Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming back to another episode of All Out Necessity. Tonight, I have the lovely Anna. She is a songwriter, producer, best-selling author from New York.
Let's go.
So tell me about your different cultures and growing up in Berlin, Germany. You know, your father's from Uganda, your mom's from Moldova. So just kind of go into how that was growing up.
I love my childhood. I'm so grateful for the family that I was born into, because essentially it has given me so many tools and understandings of who it is that I am and how we are actually all connected, how we are actually all one race, the human race, and really understanding where it is that I come from and my ancestry. And because of that, all that knowledge and then the exposure of growing up in Berlin. Berlin is an amazing city. It's the capital of Germany, first of all. So like everything hustling and bustling is like the Manhattan, right, of New York. So everything is actually happening.
Okay,
so there's so much art. There's so much like creativity and things constantly happening. Yeah, it does, and it's not just because of a weekend or just because there's a festival, a certain holiday time of the month. It's like every day there's something going on in the streets. People are dancing, performing, singing, fashion shows, graffiti artists. There's actually a law where you cannot paint over any graffiti. Like any murals, any graffiti, you cannot paint it. That's actually considered artwork. It's protected.
Really?
So even that understanding, whereas here it's considered like tagging or you can't do it in certain spaces, there it's protected. So it just shows a different understanding of creative expression and how that's something that should be spotlighted and uplifted and treasured versus covered up and just, you know, wanting to fit in with whatever that standard is for that block because it's going to add some sort of other value. Like the people are the value. So really my multicultural heritage has really exposed me to the understandings that I really wouldn't have gotten growing up here in the US. Once we immigrated here, was a whole other set of issues and things that I then had to confront within myself, in my community, you know, on my block, in my school, so on and so forth, to understand who it is that I am and my place in this world and to then carve out that place for myself.
Awesome. Okay, so Niyah Zuri series. We talked a little bit about Pharoah's throne. Let's talk about Niyah Zuri and the Mayan Eclipse, the newest one. Yes.
So Niyah Zuri and the Mayan Eclipse, the adventure continues. I'm so excited because all of my readers have been waiting. This book has been out for 4 years, so now the series really is continuing. And everyone is so excited because my writing style is more like cliffhangers all the time. So you're gonna have to read it yourself, but I left the first book off.
Okay, I will.
I left the first book off on a cliffhanger as well. So it's like, what's going on? What's happening here? And really the sequel just takes things to a whole other level. Because in the first book, you really have to establish the storyline. You have to establish the characters. And I'm leaving all of these crumbs and all of these like small little nuances for readers to eventually connect. Yes, I actually already have like the first 5 books in mind. So I'm leaving things in the first book that are connecting readers to the sequel.
To the next. See, that's smart. That's kind of like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
You know, you're just like leaving
exactly. And so the adventure continues. They're now going back to ancient Maya. They time travel. And I'm also bringing in like the Girls Who Code movement. The antagonist from the first book is now like a part of the crew in the second book. And something happens to the map, so they actually use coding to assist to like open the portal so they can continue time jumping. Now they're going back to ancient Maya. And the wonderful thing about this is that children are now going to be able to connect the dots through history because there's so many similarities between the first adventure in ancient Egypt and now the second adventure in ancient Maya that it's undeniable. What is undeniable? You may be asking me. What's undeniable is the knowledge that has flown from the River Nile, that has really flown through the origin of all time and space and just encompass this entire world. And we are those reflections. And you could see it in the architecture. You could see it in the astronomy. You could see it in the practices, the cultural practices. All of these similarities, it's nothing of a coincidence. This is actually knowledge that was carried on as we continue to like migrate through the rest of the world and populate it and create our kingdoms and our empire. So it's such a beautiful understanding and expression. And once again, just another beautiful way to highlight a culture of a people that, once again, is not really talked about, is not really spotlighted. The ancient Mayans were such advanced thinkers. They created what they're 2 different calendars that are still undescribable today of scientists trying to figure out 365. They thought the Mayans were saying the world was going to end. Remember? Back in,
Yes.
And that wasn't the case, because the advanced technology and understanding of how to really study the stars and equate that to an outline that you can then dedicate your life to following. It's a way to honor yourself, honor your ancestors, honor Mother Nature and everything that we stem from. So this second adventure is wild. It's wilder than the first one, and every chapter, once again, it's crazy. Like, you are really on the edge of your seat. Like, these are kids, but they go through a lot of like life and death situations where they have to like confront themselves in these situations, and they constantly evolve and transform every single obstacle. And it's just really amazing, because I want all my readers to understand that that's exactly what we should be doing in life as we're adventuring, as we're journeying, the things that we're coming up against. It's nothing that should turn us back around and send us back home packing, when there's still so much for us to explore about our own selves, right? When you get that uncomfortability, you push through, you take that pressure and you apply it to advancement.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm listening to you talk, and I'm sitting here thinking, this has got to be like a movie or something. I'm literally like, okay, you got a whole story going. Like, this is a series outside of a book. Like, this is something visual I can see as you're describing certain things. And I'm like, oh, this would look pretty cool. Like, to just connect everything in visual form. But I also know that you do the voiceovers for the audio for it, right?
Right. So the book,
you do the
I'm taking the movement. I'm taking the foundation of Niyah Zuri a step further. I'm creating a cartoon series now based off of it. It's been about a year and a half so far. Thank you. It's such exciting work. Working with my animator, Angel Falcon, over at Birdhouse Post, and we have just been working diligently for over a year and a half. I've been pitching to networks, and I'm also releasing the film as an animated short film. I've been doing the voiceovers just on like social media so people can understand. I'm actually a big comedian and a big kid at heart. So Niyah Zuri actually is me. Like, her character is me. So that like tomboy, exploring, just like getting, like leaves stuck in your hair and climbing trees. Like, that's actually what I was like as a kid, because I have 2 older brothers. So I was always like ripping and running with the boys and, not wearing pretty dresses and none of that type of stuff. So the great thing is that the cartoon is going to reflect the series. They're going to be traveling around the world. They're going to be educating our youth about who it is that they are, finding ways to empower all of the watchers and all of the viewers. And then on top of that, like, the music is going to be incredible for the cartoon series and for the animated short. So it's been exciting getting back in the studio, because music really is my first love. I've been creating music since I was a child, singing, playing, acting, choir, musicals.
I saw somebody has an album.
Oh yeah, that was back in the day too. And now, so the soundtrack for Adventures with Niyah Zuri is what I'm completing now, just working with some incredible creatives. Shout out to my main producer that I'm co-producing with, La Chaleur. And we are just cooking up and really finding a way to like bridge the gap of bringing that world sound. Right? World history, world sound back to like hip hop, and really using more like Afrobeat and using more of live instrumentation. I play a lot of instruments, like really bringing in melodies and harmonies and the sounds of the world to like that modern millennial sound. So it's been really exciting. The cartoon is going to be amazing. And that's just like the next stop.
I believe it.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
I believe it. I can also see it being a school, I guess, what you call it, in the school curriculum. I could see where, it's getting to that point where it's like, oh, we really do need this. This information should be installed in our curriculum. So keep the stories coming.
Thank you.
Keep them coming. The animation, I'm pretty sure, like the clips that I've seen, I'm like, okay, this girl is on a whole nother level with this. I'm so proud of you.
There's only so much that I can do. He really takes everything to another level, but we really work side by side. I'm very visual. So because I also do a lot of design and editing, graphic design and website stuff like that. So like I need details to be specific. Even Niyah's hair, like her curl pattern has to be on point. I don't want to see a blob. I don't want to see just a puff with some lines. Like we need ringlets in there. We need texture in there. I need highlighting. I need lighting. I need grease on the scalp. Like I need it to be perfect because I want us to see ourselves. Our kids deserve to really see that reflection of themselves. And that wasn't something that I saw growing up. That's why I was always outside using my imagination, because I didn't have that connectivity with books. I didn't have that connectivity with anything on TV. I only had that connectivity with those in my community. Yet those in my community, we also had so much pain body and trauma that we were all dealing with because of the socioeconomic issues that were happening in our community, that we had to find a way to escape from that. Hence the imagination and the explorations and escaping that world by going through your creativity. And those are really a lot of the things that inspired the Niyah Zuri series, because it really is so strongly based on my own childhood, all the glorious parts and all the things I wish I knew, all the resources I wish I had, all the things that I wish someone took the time to come into our school and tell us, the things in our communities that we were dealing with. And instead of wishing about the things that I wish I knew or that someone would have done, you know, we are actually here to be those solutions versus just waiting for a hero or waiting for a revolutionary, waiting for a messiah. You be the solution. You be the key. You be the portal. You have all the capabilities.
Awesome. Very good. Okay, so this next part I call In the Lab, which is life and balance. So you are a mother. You have two boys.
Okay, you paying attention, sis? Yes.
Yes, of course. Okay, so how do they like the adventure? Like, do they try to give you ideas in regards to, you know, the next book, or had they given you any feedback from the first two? Like, what
I
do
get
they
lots
think
of
about?
feedback, and they're young. They're 3 and 6. They love the series. That's what I'm saying. Like, I have young readers. Like, I have young readers up to the oldest reader. They love Niyah Zuri. They love the twins, Miguel and Hugo Gonzalez, because they are always like bickering, yet at the same time nobody can mess with them. You know what I mean? Like, only each other. They can only mess with each other, but you know.
Like family,
each other, yet they're always at each other's neck. So Niyah's like always refereeing between the two of them. So they love the twins. They love the adventures. They love what they actually learn. And because my book is very descriptive, I use a lot of adjectives because, as I mentioned, I'm very visual. So as I'm writing, I really want the reader to be able to visualize, to really see around them everything. So I'm giving you texture. I'm giving you sounds. I'm giving you sound effects. Like all of those voiceovers that you hear me doing, like swoosh and all that. That's actually in the book itself as well. That's my writing style. I use sound effects. I use things, I use sound effects and things of that sort. I use internal thinking. So the writing will go from first person to third person. So you can get inside the mind of the character, see what it is that they're feeling and thinking as well. So they love the contrast, but the constant adventures, they love it. They love it. And more than that, they love seeing mommy happy. Because this isn't something that I always used to do. I was also in the corporate world and splitting my spirit really between my purpose and doing what I had to do for my family, till I decided to really write myself into my story and really commit to what it is that my calling is, and understanding that there's nobody else who's going to answer it. It's just for me. That's why I'm the one who's hearing it. And I went 2 feet in deep, and you know, it's been over a year now, and the movement has just grown exponentially. It's grown from a tribe. I think I have to start saying Niyah Zuri Nation, because it's just growing.
Nation, yes, girl, say
nation, different school districts across the U.S., heavy in Connecticut and New York and Massachusetts, and now, you know, just growing. So I, you know, I'm focusing on really pushing it forward, because our students really need this focus, especially since they're spending so many hours in the schools versus at home, right? Education starts at home first, but there's so many of us that may not have that structure, that ideal structure to get it. So it's also, you know, the responsibility of our community, which is our schools, because our schools are in our community, to uphold the values of what it is we need to make sure our children know. So my boys love the adventure, and everyone's children could love the adventures, because they'll also discover who it is that they are.
Awesome. Okay, so what about relationship?
Okay, what are we asking here? You trying to get some tea?
I'm trying to get some tea here. I mean, for you to be this bright beacon, I'm pretty sure there has to be some young gentleman that is ready to help support in whatever capacity. So, are we single? Are we close to marriage? What's going on?
I am not single. Absolutely holding the space for my partner and the love of my life. So
Ooh.
we will, expand on that at a later point. Yet I'm very grateful for the support that I have from him, and it's such an important reflection of what it is that we need as life partners. And with that said, everything begins with self, right? And it isn't until you yourself are in a certain alignment and you yourself are also ready to join with someone to further the impact and further your purpose, that I believe that will occur for you. So peace and blessings to anyone who is searching or who is in a state.
That'd be me.
Okay, because love is a state of being. And it's once you are in love with self, once you are exuding that of yourself, you will find that reflected in another.
Awesome. Well, congrats for not being on the market.
Appreciate you.
It's important, especially because you are a single mother, and to have support totally 360 all the way around, not just for you, but you have young kings too. So that's important that it is the right person. So yes, congrats to you, girl.
Thank you, sis.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the mission, because you have, and I like this, is to inspire children one adventure at a time. Like, how does it start out with adventure, or like how does the processing start, or does it end with adventure?
So the adventure gets the children interested and wanting to hear about the story. That's just one pathway, right? I'm very strategic with the overall mission. Yes, one adventure at a time. The adventure brings them in because it's curiosity. Children are curious naturally. They want to have fun. They want to explore. And then as they start exploring, I actually bring in the Niyah Zuri fundamental truths. And I now putting in the empowerment piece of now giving children those tools and those keys that we wish we had, right? Understanding our worth, understanding how to set our value so high, understanding that we're limitless, understanding that any possibility that you can think, you can create. All you have to do is take the action, put it in your mind first, and then have that vision manifested in your life through action ability, right? Consistently and with discipline. You don't have to deny yourself your fullest potential, regardless of what your environment is telling you. So I bring that in as well. So that's more of my inspirational speaking and what I love to do of really breathing life into children, because we didn't have anyone doing that for us. All our parents were working 2-3 jobs. They were busy themselves. We were watching ourselves. Right, we were doing, everybody was doing
that was the biggest thing.
Everybody was doing the best that we could, and because we did the best that we could back then, we should be doing better now, right? So this is my way of ensuring I'm fulfilling that what was missing, so that isn't the case any longer going forward. We all have a responsibility, regardless of what it is that you do or what your passions are. We all have a responsibility to make sure that we don't stay in previous states of being where we are all not actually thriving. We have to remember the experiences that we had, and then once we are in a place to do so, by choosing to place ourselves in those spaces, we make that difference.
Awesome. Okay, so the last thing that we're gonna do, that I do with everybody, have a little fun.
Okay.
And it's guest based. So this is something particular for you. What I wanted to do, didn't realize you had a whole 5 books in your agenda, but We're gonna try something.
Books,
I wanted to try to do
too much. No, I'm joking.
No, it's good because what I wanted to do, and I will do it, is just kind of create a little adventure.
Okay.
Maybe something, you know, that will give you an idea for something else, but it's kind of like an improv. Like I say 2 words, you say 2 words to create this story for Niyah Zuri. So
ooh, you got me interested. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, so the setting.
Anything we come up with, I have the legal right to use.
Listen, you got it. That's your character. You got it. I just want to have a little fun with you.
I love this idea.
Okay, so the setting, we are in Antarctica.
Okay.
And it's cold.
We're on snowmobiles.
Yeah. So I'll let you start with the first 2 words, and you can say Niyah is or went, however, and then I'll feed off of you and you feed off of me until we get.
Oh, we're literally going 2 words at a time.
Okay, yes, so that we can like build. It's supposed to be fun, so we'll see what happens.
Let's do this.
Yeah. Okay. So Antarctica is freezing on snowmobiles. Go.
Okay. Did you
see that
big iceberg
fall on
the family
from yesterday?
No, seals
that we're
feeding
from water?
the sardines.
But John.
Who's John?
Our neighbor.
He's following
the bear.
2 polars
ran after
those seals
to eat.
Of course.
What will
John do?
I know.
What's that?
Eat sardines.
Hey! There we go.
So
I'm like, who is John?
I know, right? I was like, I gotta bring another character in.
All right, I may have to put you in the 3rd book. I was obviously Niyah, so I'm gonna have to put you in the 3rd book on these snowmobiles.
Yes.
Actually, I wanted to talk about the conspiracy of what's happening in Antarctica. I wasn't sure which way the story was about to go.
Listen, you could have went that way too, because I'm with conspiracy.
You know, they have it blocked. You can't go past a certain space. You know.
And listen, I'm with conspiracy theories.
Okay, it's a whole other interview. There's so much, and really, generally speaking, there's so much that we don't know. That's why knowledge is important.
Absolutely.
Right? We put knowledge in a book, not so that we can hide it, which is the saying that so many have come to say. You don't want somebody to know something, you put it in the book. Let's put it in the book and then actually put it in the hands of those that need it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for my interview. I appreciate your time. I really, really do. Beautiful spirit you are. I said that when I first met you. So much love, much support, everything you have going on. If you need somebody to voice over, I'm available for whatever cartoon. But yeah, just keep going, keep writing, keep inspiring. You're doing a great job. And I will see you soon. was talking to my brother. I got to come back up there. So I will see you guys soon.
We're going to make it happen.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for encouragement. Congratulations on your show, All Out Necessity. This is amazing to see you stepping fully into your purpose and really setting that bar high for yourself and reaching it and taking it from there. It's an honor to be your first virtual guest. And I know it's just going to be the first of many as you continue to thrive in all the spaces that you do. So thank you again for your support of the Niyah Zuri movement. And anyone else, you can go to my website, www.annanyakana.com, grab the books, download some free resources for your kids, click around, see what's happening with the movement, join the tribe, and let's continue to really be there collectively for one another, supporting each other, and really showing one another that we are that global community. We are that global village. And you winning is me winning. So it's just as important for me to be right beside you as you beside me.
Absolutely. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
Absolutely. You can find me on all platforms at Niyah Zuri, NIYAH_Zuri, ZURI. Follow me. I will follow you back and we will stay engaged. Tap in.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Queen.
Right. Thank you, Queen. Be successful.
You too.